Hello, my guys, gals, and non binary pals. So, if I'm correct in my scheduling and knowledge of dates, this is the last week of March. And I decided it'd be beneficial to my brain to start some monthly series. Series? I don't know what the plural of series is. Anyway, so I thought it'd be cool to do like a drawing at the end of every month based off of that month. Now, I've tried before in my life to do like monthly artwork things. One time I tried drawing one picture a month, just one, that was all I made myself do, of my OCs. Because I have 12 from my main universe. I did so very bad on it. But you know what? This time I have motivation and I'm actually drawing and I'm not burnt out. So maybe this time I'll actually be able to do this. Plus, it's not something as strict. I have a lot of freedom with this to draw whatever I want. So, as you can see here, my original plans, most of them are fairly landscape, no characters, which is my main cup of tea. So when I was thinking of March, I thought of flowers, color, St. Patrick's Day, because that's like the only holiday, and generally the transition between winter and spring. So I use most of those to inspire all the ideas. So you see a lot of rainbows, a lot of flowers, some bushes, very landscapey, plant-based drawings. So I tried to challenge myself to draw 6 ideas. I couldn't come up with much. I was just stuck on like the same idea of a landscape with some St. Patrick's Day theme into it and some general winterness and springness combined. And so I settled on the picture with bushes with red berries, some clovers, and some snow still left over from winter. So I immediately jumped into just sketching out the basic layout. First I planned out where all the bushes and clover patches would be, the rainbow, sun. Then I planned where the snow would be. And at first I tried using like a ton of different kinds of brushes to make these look good, but that wasn't working. So I went in with flat colors to start and decided I would add texture later through various means. Then I begin to add in the texture. So I started with just some lines in the grass and some different colored dots in the clovers. I edit the brush settings to try and make it like different dots and try and have it look more bushy. After a while, it kind of looks like a bush. It's not horrible. That's a bush. But, even if the bush looks fine, I have a lot of other things to give texture to. And it's not an insane bush. It's not going to make up for other things being awful. And that became the problem when I started with the berries. So I started with the berries by just shading the bottom left far away from where the sun was aiming. It was kind of difficult because I wanted to make it dark, but also when I would blur it out, it would really remove all the darkness and contrast. So it wasn't really looking very realistic around or any of that. So I kept pushing through and I tried making things darker, but I never pushed it far enough. Shading each of these berries was so tedious and boring, and it took so long. I swear, I almost gave up so many times during this berry stage. Like, I tried going off doing other things because I just didn't want to go back to these stupid berries. I just had to sit there, scribble in the corner of each and every one, and then blend it out and do that for each berry. And then I had to do it again when I tried making it darker. So I started adding in the shines for the berries, which I was hoping would be like the saving grace. This would really make them 3D would really make them like blend in with the bushes and make everything look nice and cohesive. But if you're noticing, they still look really out of place and wrong and weird, and it's not working. I just go through and add shine to them anyway. Pretend everything is fine. The thing is, they don't look awful on their own. The problem is, we have the bush and then the berries, and they're like two separate thingies. Like, this bush is textured and abstractish. Not abstract, but kind of loose with how it's drawn. And then the berries aren't. But I try to ignore it, and I go in the snow and I try to make that fit into, and I try and texture it and shade it and color it with all these brushes as well. And then it looks out of place. I try making it look in place and it doesn't, so I give up on the drawing. That's right, I give up. I just start with a new idea. So I was originally planning to take a much more cartoony approach with this, have everything have line art. This was going to be the better one. I was going to learn from my mistakes and take a style and stick with it and implement it throughout everything. Now, I tried coming up with a new concept too, so I went outside, I thought about it, and I really was thinking about what made spring for me. And I thought about this one place. It's like a bridge and it's looking off a small little lake, river, pond. I think it's pond. I don't remember what the difference between all those are, but it's just a small water stream. During March, everything started melting and then ducks started returning to it in life. And so that became my new idea. Started drawing ducks, there's gonna be flowers, some trees kind of blocking the view, and a bridge looking out over it. And you know what? This time I was gonna do it. Then I stopped for a while and was like, well, I should probably look up how the heck to draw a tree. Or like look at pictures and think about what I'm doing. But then I started doing the exact same thing I did in the first drawing. I started laying down my flats. I don't know where to go with the line art, so I just start coloring. So, I just kind of ignore everything that looks hard to do and scary and just things that I'm not familiar with. So I just draw flowers again, because I can do those fine. Look, it's flowers. And then I'm just like looking at this huge blob in the middle, knowing that I'll eventually have to do this and color it and shade it and make it not this, but I don't want to. And so I'm like, okay, I don't want to work on the trees or the water. I'll start on the ducks. And so I pull up reference pictures of ducks. I'm like, alright, it's time. I'm about to draw these ducks. Let me just select some colors and start drawing them linelessly, I guess. I start and I'm like, no, I'm done with this. I can't. So I start on the third drawing. And this time I try and stay in my territory. I thought long and hard. I'm like, what if I drew like a character and she's kind of like, an earth giant. Except I stopped leaning into that because I also had an idea to make like her shirt kind of look like a cauldron and then give her a necklace that's like gold coins because St. Patrick's Day, because this is what we associate with that holiday, and that's one of the only things I could think of about spring or March. She didn't really turn out like this earth goddess ethereal being like I had originally envisioned. She's just kind of a girl heavily based off of the month of March. Just some St. Patrick's Day, mostly in like the bottom half. And then like she has her hair, which is like a flowing river. There are birds around her still, which are tiny. So I guess she's still like giant. I don't know. Honestly, this drawing is just very much in my comfort zone. Didn't do anything crazy. I did kind of experiment with style a bit. I do that in pretty much every drawing. I talk about not having a consistent style, but one of the main reasons is because with every drawing, I like to try something new or experiment with different ways to do something or different styles that I've wanted to try. So for this, I tried just having my line art be all in purple, and I think it worked for this drawing. Besides the hair, I made that blue since it was kind of supposed to be rivery. In the end, I didn't go too much into it, I just made it blue hair. But originally I wanted to make it look like water. But let's be real, that's kinda scary. I'm not ready to draw photorealistic water, guys. I don't know if I can do that. I tried to have a lot of shading and make things very 3D-ish, I guess, but I didn't try too hard like I was doing in the other drawings. I just kind of focused on making this girl and making her look nice. Oh, I also tried drawing, can I say this on YouTube? Boobs? Can I say that? I'm sure I can say it, it'll be fine. Okay, well I have in the past tried, but growing up, I never really understood how to draw them, so I didn't. And so like, if you look at every girl character I've drawn pretty much, none of them have chests. Well, none of them have not flat chests. So it's something that I've been wanting to improve with my style, but I never really wanted to take the time to understand how to draw them. The main trouble area, which is in the middle, I don't know how to do chest one middle part, close up, much English. The middle was covered, so I felt like I could go for it here, and I don't think they look outrageous. They're just there, minding their own business, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know how to draw them. I also kind of struggled with the background because, okay, my main thing with this drawing is it doesn't really invoke that like springy, greenery feeling that I really wanted it to have. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I don't hate it. It isn't exactly what I had envisioned originally, but I still enjoy how it turned out, even if it is a lot less inspired and pretty basic. You know, I still had fun. The purpose is to exercise my brain, and I didn't do much of that, but I did try things. I tried to do those drawings, and I didn't really try too hard, okay? But I tried. So since this will be a series, if you want to make sure you don't miss the video that will happen in April, then you should subscribe. I want to pull up statistics here and be like, only blank percentage of my viewers are subscribed, but I don't have enough subscribers to do that yet. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe. Also follow all my social media. I have a Twitch I don't use, TikTok I don't really use. I have an Instagram that I do use a lot. I mean, not really a lot. I have a Twitter I use a lot. So mainly follow those two and subscribe to this. Also like the video, and I'll see you all next week.